much every Thursday, as he does, to give his Rickman's Big View. Appreciate his taking the time to come into the studio here. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, most Thursdays moving forward, we're going to be featuring the Ripple Effect. This is the campaign from the Rhode Island Department of Transportation to address impaired driving. Last week we had the Borks who lost their son to a drunk driver. This week we're bringing in the law enforcement perspective. I have Chief Ed Mello with the Jamestown Police Department around the corner. Chief, come on in.
Thank you.
I appreciate you taking the time to come in today to talk about this very important topic and your involvement with it. When the DOT said, here's what we're going to do to try to address impaired driving, all the stakeholders we're going to bring and feature so that Rhode Islanders know just the impact of this, and they approached you, what was your reaction?
You know, I was very excited and very honored and privileged to partner with Ryan's parents on the initiative, and some members of the department joined me as well, and it's something we did without hesitation. So at the end of the day, what we want is to hopefully something positive come out of the very tragic death of Ryan, and hopefully this will make an impact.
And have you been hearing from people we discussed before you came on? The DOT has rolled this campaign out. You're here, you're on TV, you're everywhere. I'm sure you've heard from folks saying, gosh, I mean, the heart-wrenchingness of seeing these videos, I mean, that's the point of this campaign.
It is. So, you know, when we worked with DOT and the director and gave you a body on the project, it was really, we wanted it to be that way. We wanted it to be heartfelt. And it was, you know, for Ryan's parents, it was very difficult for them to get through this campaign, as it was for myself and for Sergeant Esposito. So, but we wanted to be, you know, people to feel our emotion, to what we're feeling.
And you've been chief of Jamestown now for several years. You've come from Westerly. When you hear about the fatalities, it's just socks you in the stomach to hear about this. But you're on the roads. Your members are on the roads. How prevalent is impaired driving? Do you see on a day-to-day basis?
You know, the problem continues. You know, we see more fatalities again last year than we have in the past. We see that increase going up again this year. And the impaired driving related to alcohol or drugs, it continues to be a problem. The problem is not going away. We need to address it in a different fashion. We need to change the behavior.
And we also discussed as well, you know, as we talked about, if you're impaired, you might often not make the best judgment call. How important is it to prepare, especially if you're going to be going to, not a Super Bowl party, but every night you're going to a bar, you're going to a friend's party. I mean, call an Uber, call a Lyft. I mean, what do you tell people who they know that they're going to be going out and taking part in either alcohol or other?
Sure. So, you know, not everybody walks out the door with a plan.
Yeah.
But in today's society of technology and Uber and all of these ride-sharing opportunities, there's really no reason for you not to do that. You know, particularly in urban areas where the reality is we're seeing a lot of drunk drivers in the urban areas coming out of the cities. So where those opportunities exist to find alternate means of transportation to get yourself home. So it's not necessarily the planning, it's your responsibility.
And just remind folks again, you know, first offense, second offense, if you do and you're caught, what can you be faced with?
So DWI is significant. It costs you a lot of money, thousands of dollars between legal fees and fines that you pay. Your privilege to drive is gone for a period of time. You know, the consequences for driving while intoxicated or impaired are significant, and they should be. And I personally feel that they should be harsher than they are. If that's an added deterrent that we can enhance the penalties, that would be, I think, a win for everyone.
And talk also about the responsibility of others when they see impaired people at parties, at bars, in places, to both also discuss with them taking their keys, but you know, if folks see someone, should they alert authorities?
Yes, so we face that question a lot. So I think everybody shares that responsibility. I think everybody shares the responsibility of a coworker or a colleague or a friend or family member if they're out, and it happens. People drink too much. It happens, not always intentionally, but we share that responsibility of making sure that they get home safely, to encourage them to get another ride or offer them a ride, or you know, just confront them on the matter, because some people don't realize that they may be too intoxicated to drive, and without that intervention, if you will, they're probably going to go out and do without.
And how much of your time are you spending now with the Ripple Effect? We appreciate you taking the time to come up from Jamestown, but who are you talking to and bringing this message to sort of on that daily basis?
So, through social media, we're pushing out the campaign as much as we can. All law enforcement throughout Rhode Island is partnered with DOT to try to push out the message of the Ripple Effect campaign. We feel it's a strong message, a very heartfelt message, and we're all collectively doing our best to get that message out.
Well, as we have you in here, again, the Ripple Effect, the DOT's campaign, which you can't not but see on social media, regular media channels. We've got the opportunity to bring stakeholders in here, like Chief Mello, every week to talk about the impact of impaired driving, and as you mentioned, the shared responsibility.
Absolutely. So that's what it's all about. It's a shared responsibility. It's a change that we need to make collectively to be effective.
Well, I appreciate your time, Chief, for coming in here, bringing the message straight to folks. Hopefully we'll have the chance to talk with you in the future on other topics as well, but I'll let you go back down to the task at hand in
Great.
Jamestown. Okay,
Thanks,
Chief
Kate.
Mello,
Appreciate
I
your
appreciate your
time.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Chief Ed Mello with the Jamestown Police Department, very involved with the Ripple Effect, the DOT's campaign to bring awareness to and hopefully stop impaired driving throughout the state. We did have the Borks in last week. We're going to be having stakeholders in moving forward, healthcare professionals, law enforcement officials, others impacted by impaired driving around the state. And as the Chief mentioned, it's a collective responsibility because the impact is so deep. Appreciate the DOT, everyone involved, and the Chief for coming in today to talk about this here. We also have another very important topic to talk about in the wake of the shooting down in Florida yesterday. We do have Bob